Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Comically Speaking with SPAZ. That's me. Today I'm going to discuss some of the titles that have come out under the Marvel's 80th anniversary celebration. I'm going to start off with, this is not technically part of the series, but it did come out last year, and it does pay tribute to the comic books of old with Journey into Mystery. Obviously it's modern artwork, as you can tell, but it pays tribute to the spirit of comic books from the Golden and Silver Age. But Journey into Mystery is a fun one. When I got into comic books, it was the colors and the bright colors of let's say, Spider-Man and Superman. The thing that really got me into comics was horror comics. And here is Crypt of Shadows. This is part of Marvel's 80th anniversary celebration. Pays tribute to the old horror comics that used to fill the shelves many decades ago. And this cover itself looks very much like a classic horror cover from Marvel's days, or even EC Comics as well. So Crypt of Shadows is one you should check out. Decades ago, Westerns were up on the big screen. They were on television. They were everywhere, especially comic books. There's so many different Western comics, and Gunhawks pays tribute to those. Now remember, all these are essentially one-and-done comics, one-shots. Story is self-contained within the issues. And, you know, there's no story arc that you have to read over 6 or 12 issues. But this here, nice little homage to the Western comics with a modern twist. Journey into Unknown Worlds. That is like sci-fi and thrilling, and I'm trying to find a page here. It's really fun to read. Again, retains the spirit of the old sci-fi comics from Marvel's Golden and Silver Age. War comics used to be real popular because obviously war was in the news a lot. And War is Hell pays tribute to those old comics. I'm just briefly going through these so you don't get too bored. But they are all fantastic reads, by the way. Marvel Comics presents 3 separate stories featuring Wolverine, one for Captain America, and one for Namor, the Submariner, who was actually before Aquaman, and he was Marvel's sort of undersea character, but that was before Aquaman, so you can't sit there and say Marvel was copying him. But again, you know, great artwork and great ads. But Marvel Comics presents, hopefully they're going to continue this, maybe with separate stories by each of these 3 heroes, or maybe in the next issue it could be 3 other heroes, or, you know, mix and match. But definitely check that out. For people who aren't that into modern comics and really just want to continue with the old ones, look no further than Marvel Tales, part of Marvel's 80th anniversary. And what these are, they're big, thick comic books, and they feature original comics, original classic comics. So this here features stories from these 3 comics, and just the colors are just so wonderful. Bright, and they just jump out at you. That's what I remember as a kid, is those bright, wonderful colors. That's missing in today's comics. I like the stories, and I like some of the artwork. In fact, I love some of the artwork, but the bright colors from the classics are what really got me interested. Here's another Marvel Tales, Venom, featuring, here, I'll show you here, stories from these classic comics. And again, beautiful artwork, beautiful colors. And finally, the last one I'm going to talk about today, Marvel Tales Black Widow. Now, obviously, everyone knows Black Widow from the Avengers movies. Here she is featured in these stories, as well as a Red Widow from Mystic Comics. And that is just, it's wonderful because it's pre-Black Widow. It's very different from what Black Widow became, but also, you know, the whole idea is very similar, and you can tell that that's very old comic book artwork. Simplistic, but beautiful nonetheless. And anyway, that is it. Celebrating Marvel's 80th anniversary so early in the year. I'm sure there'll be more coming, and I might do a video that's going to feature those. But I just wanted to bring those to your attention and remind you to check them out when you can. If you're an old-time comic person, definitely check out Marvel Tales. Features some great stories in all three of these. And also, definitely check out these. They retain the spirit of the old comic books. So it may be modern, maybe take on modern themes, but they're definitely worth your while if you are looking for something new to read. And remember this, comic books are not cartoons. Comic books are not just for kids. Comic books are works of art. They are literature. They're our history. Comic books are inspirational, and comic books can be kind of cool too. So support your local comic shop today, tomorrow, and whenever you can. And for Comically Speaking, I'm Spaz. Thanks for watching. Fin Fang Foom.